Today we are going to start our new chapter that is named the price system, as we did in our AS level, the demand and supply, the price mechanism, in which we were studying why demand curve slows downward when price falls. Consumers are willing to buy more quantities of the same product at certain standards, and why supply curve is actually sloping upward. Due to increase in price, the producers are willing to supply more in the market of the same product which they are producing. So now in this chapter we will be studying and we will be analyzing. What will we be analyzing? The individual behavior of consumer and individual behavior of producer in the market. Basically the name of the chapter remains same, the price system. What is the name? The price system, but it is now the extension of the same chapter number 2. This is the extension of the chapter number 2 in AS. Okay. So in this price system we will be studying the individual consumer behavior. If I say demand curve, this is the demand curve, it slopes downward. What is the background of this downward sloping demand curve? What is the background of the downward sloping demand curve? If I say the supply of a product is upward sloping. So what is the background of this upward sloping supply curve? Why a supply curve is sloping upward where price and quantity supplied, they are positively related with each other? And in case of demand, price and quantity are inversely related with each other. So what is the phenomenon which is working behind these two market forces? Why demand is sloping downward and supply is sloping upward? This is called the background of demand and supply. So in this chapter, the price system, we will be studying the individual consumer behavior and individual producer behavior. In case of individual consumer behavior, we will be analyzing the demand analysis, and in case of the producer behavior, we will be focusing more on the supply of the product which is present in the market by different producers or by same producer. So this is our brief layout of the chapter number 7. Now this chapter is divided into two main parts. One is about the consumer behavior, another is the producer behavior. Now I am going to ask you a very simple question. What is your behavior while you are consuming a good in a given time period? Why are you consuming a product of your own choice? For example, you are consuming a burger or a pizza, or you are eating mutton pulao or biryani at home. Why? What is the aim behind you are consuming the product of your own choice? To satisfy your needs and wants. Exactly. Actually, whenever you have the consumption of a certain good in a given time period, so you are going to achieve your objective of satisfaction. You want to maximize your satisfaction. So every consumer, when he consumes something, he or she gets what? The satisfaction. Or we give it a name as a utility. What it is? Utility or satisfaction. The aim of the consumer is to get maximum satisfaction when he or she is going to consume any good, okay, in a given time period. So that is given a name, a utility. Utility is actually the power of that commodity or that good which is going to satisfy the consumer. Sometimes we consume something but it is not that much delicious, it does not give us satisfaction, so we don't consume it or we leave it behind. Because that product is not having the power to satisfy us. It is not having that much of content which is going to satisfy the consumer. So utility means the satisfaction, the inner pleasure, the subjective pleasure which consumers they are getting after consuming a product. Any good which is going to satisfy the consumers, that is providing actually satisfaction or utility. So the first aim of the consumer is to maximize utility when you are going to consume something. So the aim of the consumer is, first aim is what? To maximize utility or satisfaction. What is the next aim of the consumer? Do you know? What is the next aim?
At minimum possible price.
Yes. You say when consumer is going to maximize the satisfaction, he or she wants to minimize the expenditures as well. Like the minimum expenditure on that commodity should give the consumer more and more satisfaction. Clear? So another thing which consumer is having the aim, that is to minimize the expenditures on that commodity. Okay? So when we talk about consumer optimization, do you remember the word optimization in our Pareto optimality? I was talking this word about. So here, consumer is optimizing when he or she is able to maximize utility by minimizing the expenditure on that commodity. This is called the optimizing behavior of the consumer. Optimization means what? He or she is maximizing his welfare or satisfaction or inner pleasure by minimizing the expenditures on that commodity. Or in other words, can I say he or she wants to get the maximum benefit out of a product consumption by spending less amount of income on that. So he wants to get the maximum benefits or maximum welfare after consuming a product by minimizing the expenditures on the same product. Clear or not? So this is called the consumer rationality. Consumer is rational. Rational means he wants to get the maximum benefit, the maximum welfare of consumption. By minimizing the expenditure, he makes the rational decisions. If the satisfaction drawn by the consumer is less than the amount of income spent on that, sometimes we spend money, but that product does not give us the maximum satisfaction, so it means our decision is going to be irrational. We have spent money on that commodity where our satisfaction is not maximized. So consumers are always preferring more to less. More means they want to get more satisfaction by less expenditures or less prices of the product which are spent on. Okay? So this is called consumer rationality. Now, come towards the consumer behavior in further detail. So how many approaches can be there to analyze the consumer behavior in economics? Basically, there are two approaches. One is called the cardinal approach, another is called ordinal approach. What is the cardinal approach and ordinal approach? There are two approaches to explain, to analyze the consumer behavior. Analyze the consumer behavior. One of them is called cardinal approach, and another means what? Ordinal approach. Okay? So there are two schools of thought. They are talking about the consumer behavior. One of them that is saying that utility or satisfaction, this can be measured. Cardinal what is the meaning of cardinal? Anyone who is studying mathematics or taking maths?
Yes.
What is the meaning of cardinal? No idea. What are you studying over there? Cardinal means number. So maths is all about numbers. Okay? Cardinal means numbers. So number in this approach says that utility or satisfaction is measurable in terms of numbers. Like if you are drinking one glass of water, how much satisfaction you are getting? That is maybe 20 utils, 30 utils or 10 utils. The unit of measurement of satisfaction is utils according to this approach. समझ में आ रहा है क्या? What I said, they have their argument. What is their argument? Like we measure distance in terms of meters, kilometers. We measure the mass of a body in terms of grams and kilograms. And other higher scales of measurement are also there. We measure time in terms of seconds, minutes, hours, days, months, years. So on the same ground, as we are measuring distance, we are measuring mass of the body and time of any particular event, we can also measure the satisfaction or inner pleasure which consumers are getting after consuming a product, and what is the unit of measurement of those satisfaction levels, that is util. If consumer is consuming a commodity, he is getting utility or satisfaction which can be measured in terms of util. One glass of water may be giving the consumer 20 utils of utility or 10 utils of utility. So this is measurable thing according to this approach. So cardinal approach says utility is measurable or satisfaction is measurable. Like other things we are able to measure that. Now ordinal approach says, we will be moving into details in later stages, but right now as far as the introduction is concerned, I am moving to that. Ordinal approach says utility or satisfaction, that is an inner phenomena or inner pleasure which is enjoyed by the consumer after consuming a product. We cannot measure it for everyone. It is not measurable in terms of numbers. Can we have any measuring rod, any measuring method, like we are measuring distance in terms of meter? Physically we are having a meter, okay, and we can measure it. Do we have any measuring tool to measure the satisfaction which we are getting after consuming a product? There is no measuring tool available in the world in order to measure the satisfaction. So they say utility cannot be measured in terms of numbers, but consumers can rank the goods. What is called? They rank the goods according to their preferences. What do you mean by this sentence? Consumers can rank the goods according to their preferences. For example, one of you prefers biryani over mutton pulao. Why are you preferring biryani over mutton pulao? Because biryani gives you more satisfaction than mutton pulao. So can you say how much satisfaction you are getting out of that single plate of a single dish of biryani? We can't say. But you think that it gives you more satisfaction than mutton pulao. So you are ranking biryani. You are preferring biryani over mutton pulao because it gives you more utility or more satisfaction, but you can't say how much satisfaction you are deriving. It is not measurable in terms of numbers. So this approach, ordinal approach, says utility cannot be measured in terms of numbers, rather we can rank the goods, or you are taking economics because it gives you more satisfaction than any other subject. Okay, you can rank the subjects, you can rank the goods which are consumed, which are going to give you more satisfaction, but you cannot measure that satisfaction or inner pleasure in terms of numbers. This is their argument that goods can be ranked. Every consumer is having different ranking. If you ask me which dish I prefer, either biryani or mutton, I would rather say I prefer mutton pulao or biryani. My ranking can be different from your ranking. That depends how consumers are deciding what gives them more satisfaction, but we can't say how much satisfaction they are giving. Clear or not? So according to cardinal approach, utility is a measurable phenomenon, whereas in ordinal approach, we can rank the goods, but it cannot be measured. Clear? Now, a few things which I want to explain you before going into detail of each approach. I want to give you the concept of the different types of utilities. Okay? There can be the two types of utilities. What are, we will be moving into more detail by tomorrow. The cardinal approach will be doing it tomorrow, inshallah. But right now, I want to have some basis of those two approaches. So first thing we said, utility. Utility means what? The satisfaction or inner pleasure. Okay? Which consumers are getting after consuming a product within a given time period. There can be two types of utilities. One is called total utility. This is called what? Utilities can be added up. Like if you are consuming same commodity, different units, like 3 glasses of water you are consuming. So first glass of water satisfaction is there. Second glass of water is also giving you satisfaction. So if you add the satisfaction or utilities of 2 units of glasses of water, you will get what total utility. Or during your lunch time, you are consuming 1, 2 or 3 items, a loaf of bread, a rice, or maybe Pepsi drink. So each one is giving you different satisfaction. So your total satisfaction can be added up. How much satisfaction you have gained from a loaf of bread or anything else which you are consuming. So utilities can be added up. So when they are added up for a single commodity or for different commodities, we say this is called total utility. So total utility basically is the sum of the utilities of all the units consumed of a single product or the different products you are consuming in one time. Keep it in mind, the time period is constant. Clear? Suppose a consumer has consumed 3 glasses of water. So first glass gives him 10 utility. Second gives him 8 utility, third gives him 6. So how much is the total satisfaction of the 3 glasses of water? That is 18 plus 6, 24 is the total utility which consumer is getting after consuming 3 glasses of water. Clear or not? So we say utilities can be added for the different units of consumer, different units of a good consumed within same time. If a consumer is consuming 3 glasses of water with lapses of time, like early in the morning you have drunk 1 glass of water, during the lunch time again you have drunk 1 glass of water, so this is not the case. Now the time period is varying, then this law cannot be had. Within same time, if you are consuming something, their utilities can be added up. This is called total utility. Now the second type of utility is what? That is called marginal utility. This is what? Marginal means what? Additional or extra. This is the extra utility of an extra unit consumed by a consumer within same time period. Marginal means additional or extra. This is an extra utility of an extra unit consumed by a consumer within same time period. Can I write the marginal utility, that is change in total utility due to change in quantity? This is change in, like I say, here over here I am taking the same example. This is the marginal utility. First class of order gives you temp utility. Okay. Second class of order gives you 18 total utility. How much is the additional utility of the second class? 8. Clear? And this is what we have taken the differentiation, change in total utility due to an additional unit of a good consumed within same time period. So this is called the second unit is giving the 8 marginal utility. If consumer is consuming third class, now it moves on to 24. How much is the additional utility of the third class of water? 6. So can I say when we add up the marginal utilities, we get total. Total utility is the sum of marginal utilities of each unit consumed. But when we take the differentiation of the total utility, we get what? The marginal utility. Here, have you studied derivatives and integrations? Integration of marginal utility, that is called total utility. When we integrate them, and the differentiation of the total utility is called what? The marginal utility, or the slope of total utility can be called the marginal utility. So this is about our today's lesson that we have studied. We have started one thing, the consumer behavior. We are now moving into the further details. I am not starting the 2 laws which will be associated with cardinal approach. There will be the 2 laws which are associated. One is called law of diminishing monotonity and other is called law of equimonotonity. We will be moving them into detail of these 2 laws, okay, by tomorrow inshallah. So this is about what? Consumer aim is to maximize satisfaction, okay, and the other aim is to minimize the expenditures. So what are the 2 approaches which can explain the consumer behavior? Cardinal approach, ordinal approach. Then we can have what? The different types of utilities, total utility and marginal utility. I have completed over here. If I start the next law, the law of diminishing marginal utility, you will be getting fatigued that how much is left over. So I will be doing the laws tomorrow, and that will complete our cardinal approach analysis of the consumer behavior. Okay, so come tomorrow and we will be doing the law of diminishing marginal utility. First of all, if we get time, we will be moving on to the second law as well. Okay, thank you.